Audrey picks up this Vietnamese family from California outside Washington's Museum of Natural History. He is taking them to a part of town where there are a large number of Asian restaurants. Gaudry is an artist, but he makes his living driving a pedicab.
A good pedicab driver is someone who can keep the interest of their riders, because one of the biggest parts of our ride is just the interaction between you and the people sitting behind you.
Tourist Brandon Wynn says despite the traffic and bumpy streets, the experience is a lot of fun.
You'll be able to see both sides of the street instead of when you're walking, you only see one side. A lot of up and down, so you feel something like you're riding a horse.
Pedicabs have been used in Washington for several years. Also known as bicycle rickshaws, they are used in other major cities around the world, especially in Southeast Asia. In Washington, pedicab drivers negotiate the cost of a ride with their customers. The average is about $20 for 20 minutes. Some drivers own their own cabs. Others rent their pedicabs from the companies that own them. Steve Belinsky once drove pedicabs in New York City and is now co-owner of Capital Pedicabs. He says the customers come from all walks of life.
Families, a lot of people, a lot of couples. It's a pretty romantic thing to do, so a lot of couples like the pedicab rides. A lot of elderly, we really try and cater to the elderly.
The pedicab drivers are as diverse as the tourists they pick up. Many are students and young working professionals. Others are in their 40s and 50s. Some pedicab drivers also do the job to keep in shape. 45-year-old Carla Chandler is one of these. She has a full-time job as a television news writer.
And it's fun making extra money and getting to meet tourists and meet people from all over. I've had riders from every state but Hawaii, a lot of international visitors. One day in 1 hour I had Iraq, Kuwait, and Trinidad.
Nick Smith recently bought his own pedicab. In keeping with the Washington surroundings, he painted it with the animal symbols that represent the U.S. Democratic and Republican political parties.
People like ride it and then they stop and take a picture of it and, with their family in it, so it was a lot of fun.
Tourists say they like the novelty of riding in a pedicab. Dita Langsdale from Florida says the experience is unique.
Breathing fresh air, just being able to see the sights, covering a lot of ground in a very short period of time. It would have taken us probably 30 minutes to walk what we just rode.
Capital Pedicabs owner Steve Belinsky points out that the city of Washington is encouraging people to use bicycles more often for transportation. He says it is important to him to own a business that is environmentally friendly. Deborah Block, VOA News, Washington.